Yes, I'm really doing this again. It has actually been a while since I've covered this show, and don't worry, at some point I plan to cover this show in its entirety. But I still have a bunch of other shows I gotta take care of first, so don't worry, I do fully plan at some point to definitely cover this show in its entirety, which means I will probably have to skip over this episode in particular. But I just couldn't see myself leaving it off, and not to mention, I pretty much knocked out all the big Nickelodeon Christmas specials when I did my first 25 Days of Holidays marathon. You know, before I renamed it this year to Season Slashings, where I covered Christmas Who, It's a SpongeBob Christmas, Arnold's Christmas, Christmas Every Day from the Fairly Odd Parents. Like, I covered a lot of them. So, needless to say, I pretty much left myself with slim pickings for this year for which Nickelodeon special to put onto this list for this marathon. But I think I might have found a great one, and it's actually surprisingly fitting because I actually haven't talked about this show ever since I reviewed that movie that came out last year, I believe, in November of last year. So, what better time than now to bring back probably one of my favorite shows of all time. Because why not? What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, which is here for anything and everything animation. Welcome to my review of Blue's Clues, Blue's Big Holiday. This is the Season 3 finale of the original Blue's Clues series. It has Steve as the host, and it's one of the most underrated, wonderful, delightful, heartfelt, charming, and just all-around enjoyable Christmas specials that I've ever seen. And what's great about this special in particular is that it doesn't talk about just Christmas. No. This is a special that actually goes so far as to also include some other holidays as well. Because, you know, Blue's Clues was all about inclusivity from all different walks of life. And that hasn't changed, even though people like to say that this is something that's gonna kill the show or kill people's childhoods. You're killing my childhood. Ugh! You get those Scrooges out of here. Inclusivity has always been an aspect of the show. People were just apparently too one-track minded to actually do research and figure that out for themselves. Anyway, I'm trying to stay positive here, so I'm not going to bring that up anymore. Let's review Blue's Big Holiday. Here's my written review. I hope you enjoy. It's not as lengthy as the Bob the Builder one, but it is still pretty dense, so I hope you enjoy. Since I covered Bob the Builder earlier in this holly jolly marathon of holiday delight, it only makes sense to cover another childhood favorite show of mine on the final week of this delightful season. Blue's Clues. Again, for the first time since I reviewed Blue's Big City Adventure last year. The story is, to find out what Patch Blue wants to add to their holiday quilt, Steve plays a special holiday-themed game of Blue's Clues, and of course spreads some wonderful and uplifting holiday cheer along the way to all his friends in Skidoo World. And this really is a delightful special, teaching kids about all the different holidays celebrated in December, and specifically Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, while also keeping intact everything that makes this show so delightful, like the great voice acting, the very nostalgic and well done 2D animation with all the characters, the delightful host. I mean, Steve is still an amazing host. He will always be an icon of Blue's Clues because he was the first host and many people consider him to be the best, even though I'm one of those kids from the 2000s, so I grew up more with Joe, but I still saw Steve on reruns, so he was still part of my childhood in some capacity. The upbeat tone, the inclusivity of all different walks of life, the joyful music, pretty much everything you love about Blue's Clues is still here, but it has a nice holiday theme to it as well. As well as some guest stars in this episode, including one Tyrese Gibson. Yes, that Tyrese Gibson. The guy from Fast and Furious and the guy that apparently made a lot of pop music back when I was a kid, but I never ever realized it because I was a country and rock guy, and I didn't really listen to pop music all that much as a kid, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, yes, that is Tyrese Gibson in this episode. His appearance is brief, but it's enough to put a smile on your face, especially if you are a Fast and Furious fan. To really deliver joy and excitement to all the kids and their parents while watching. Unfortunately, though, unlike SpongeBob's Christmas Who or Arnold's Christmas from Hey Arnold, this is one that's rarely ever talked about. And that's a huge shame because this is definitely one of those holiday specials that deserves more attention, not just for being inclusive and including more than just Christmas, but also because of just how much delight and joy it brings while watching. Yes, it's short at only 22 minutes, but trust me when I say it's more than worth your time. And it will still give you that warm, fuzzy feeling that this joyful season brings, no matter what holiday you celebrate. Very highly recommended, especially for families and their kids. Even now, in 2023, it still holds up surprisingly well. It's one I watched a lot as a kid, and while this may be the first time I've seen it in years, it was absolutely a delight from beginning to end, just like pretty much every other episode of Blue's Clues. So, yeah, I got nothing more to say. If you're a little kid, you'll really enjoy it. If you're an adult watching it with your kid, you're going to enjoy it. It's just one of those delightful, wonderful, simple holiday specials that really is not only inclusive, but is a great way to spread some holiday cheer. Yes, I know that may sound weird coming from me, as someone who mainly celebrates Christmas on this channel, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, no matter what holiday you celebrate or what walk of life you come from, this is going to put a smile on your face, because Blue's Clues is one of those shows that always brings joy to pretty much every single generation to this very day. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say, and heck, even doing a review is a bit tricky because this is a show that I'm just so over the moon positive about, even though I've far outgrown this show's demographic. And it only goes to show how wonderful of a kid's show that this still is. Sure, SpongeBob may be more popular, but this is arguably one of the best. So, I have nothing else to really say. There's not really much negative to talk about. It's pretty much everything you love about Blue's Clues, but it just has a nice holiday theme for it. It's delightful, it's fun, it's charming, it's Blue's Clues. It's a wonderful special that you need to see as soon as possible, and we need to make it a holiday mainstay, please. Final verdict for this delightful, wonderful special is a 9.5 out of 10. I want to give it a 10, but when you really stop and think about it, it is very simple. But a lot like Bob the Builder, it just works, and you can't really explain why. Because everything's just done so well, nothing feels half-efforted, and I feel like with age, it's only going to get better. Well, that's my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below, or share any memories that you have of this episode when you watched it as a kid. I'd love to hear them. And, not really sure what to do tomorrow, so guess you'll just have to wait and see. So, I will see you tomorrow for the next review. Until then, continue to have a wonderful holiday season no matter what you celebrate. And I'll see you all in the next video. Be good people, take care, and I'll see you next time.